Why did we wait till the third month? And we said because they were keeping, because they left Mitzrayim. That's why they had to purify themselves. So that was why it took them time. And but okay.
It's not for you, it's for.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then it tells us the next pasuk they left for Refidim. Refidim was where they had Amalek had fought with them. They had been weak. So it says that in order to get the Torah, they had to leave Refidim. They had to have enthusiasm. They came to the desert. The desert was they should feel humble, just like the desert doesn't have anything and it's ready to receive. And then the last thing, and they camped camped opposite the mountain, and it says Vayichan, but it says in one lush in Lashon Yachid in the singular, because they they were united. And we said that, I don't remember, but we said that we're united. This unity is is a condition for receiving the Torah. And it says that they were united, they were like men with one heart, because you can put bodies, you put parts of a body next to each other, but they're not united. And it's really I don't know if I told you, it's a mystery how I think why don't our hands fight with our head? They all feel like one body. It's a miracle. They don't. The scientists are still trying to discover the secret of consciousness. Like you feel I instead of feeling like all. So the
People who
I.
don't have that, they're considered a disease.
Wow, that they don't feel that they're wow. So one day we'll see that we're suffering from disease now because we're all part of the same body, and then yeah. All right, now next we get to Pasuk Gimel. It's on the third page. Okay. Wants to read it. One second. Yeah, okay. Did very good. Rina, you can.
I should read?
Yeah.
Or I'm?
Yeah.
Okay,
No. The pasuk. Yeah, there's the pasuk. The
Moshe
pasuk.
Moshe went up to Hashem, or Elohim.
Yeah.
They cried love Hashem, and Hashem called him Adnos, Mina Halimor, from the mountain, saying, Kol Tamar Lebeit Yaakov, so shall you say to the house of Yaakov, Jacob, L'taged b'nei Israel, and declare to the children of Israel.
Yeah. So when was that? Moshe, the first day was the Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Then Moshe went up to Hashem. So Rashi says, what does Rashi say? Right after Rashi says, when did Moshe go up? Hannah, you can read it? No, it's in English. You can read it in English.
For all his others,
No.
And Moshe went up on the second day of the month.
Yeah, and then continue.
For all his ascents to the mountain were made early in the morning, as it is stated in Exodus 34:4. And Moses rose up early in the morning and went up onto the Mount Sinai.
Yeah. So he went, and it was the second day. The second day, here it's it was the second day of Sivan, and it's a special day. It's called Yom HaMesugal. It's a special day because we have the first 12 days of Sivan. There's something special about them. What's special about the first 12 days of Sivan? you don't say Tachanun. The shorter davening, like we had in this son, now, and then in the first 12 days of Sivan, you don't say Tachanun. It's a part of the davening which many women don't say. But you don't say, I think you don't say Tlachlanu, you don't have to bang your hand against your heart, because you don't say Tachanun. There's, you know, you don't. Yeah, you don't say, yeah, and when if bench, you know, you say Shuramalos, you know, it's different. So why? So they say, why don't you do it for first 12 days in Sivan? The first day is Rosh Chodesh. You don't say Tachanun in Rosh Chodesh, and then you have the 3 days that they have prepared for Matan Torah. And in between you have the Yom HaMasugal. So they say when you have one day in between, it's also included, and yeah. So it's a special day. Yom HaMasugal, a special day.
The day that Hashem said the Olam Tabura.
Yeah, it is the day that Hashem told our proposal. But first Moshe went up. We could do it, but I think I'm going to skip the Orachaim here, even though we went to all that trouble. But it says, that he went up because it says it's before Hashem called him, he went up to show that it was a itaruta latata. Hashem had told them that he would give the Torah. So when they came here, he went up, and then he said, and then he went up to Hashem, and then Hashem called him from the mountain. And he said, Kol Tomar lebet Yaakov. So thus you will say to the house of Jacob, Takid Livnei Israel. In other words, Moshe went up, and then Hashem called him from the mountain. In other words, he went up as high as he could. But then he had he went up, but he can't go up to Hashem. He went up to Elohim, his level, and then Hashem called him to the mountain. That was, and he said to him, "This is what you say to Bet Yaakov, and you will say to the children of Israel." So we're doing the Rashi. Okay, now we're still in Rashi. We can do the Rashi. It's in the middle of the 3rd page. Kol Tomar. Who wants to read it?
Okay. Thus shalt thou say, this is the Hebrew language of the Rabbi Israel, and in this form of word.
In other words, Kol Tomar, Hashem told him exactly what she should say.
To the
Exactly
house
what
of
word.
Jacob.
Yeah, in other
That
words,
denotes the women.
Yeah.
To them you shall speak in a gentle the Rabbi Ishmael.
all right, and
And tell the children, explain to the men the punishments and the details of commandments in the words that are hard and distasteful as wormwood.
no, okay.
Wow.
I didn't know it was wormwood. It says kigidim. I always thought it meant tendons. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but it says Kol Tomar lebet Yaakov. There, the words. All right, let's. Yeah, because to the house of Jacob. Tomar is in the more gentle word. Tagid is like to daber, a harsher word. Like, so it says you should tell the woman, and that's what Rashi says, that it means the woman and the man. And it's a brought from Chazal that you see here. Why did he start with the woman first? Why did he start with the woman first? It says the Bet Yaakov and then Bnei Israel. So it says that in the sin of Chava, the sin of Adam and Chava, it's a funny way to put it. Like Hashem said that he told Adam, and she heard it secondhand from Adam. So Hashem said he would correct it, and if he tells the woman first, then it will be guaranteed that they would stay loyal to the Torah. And, yeah.
Why is that Yaakov not women?
Ah.
The house of Yaakov, you have 12 sons. and daughters.
Yeah, okay, but I think it is the house. Like it says, there was a man in Chazal that says, I never called my Olam lo karati ishti ela vaisi. I call, the woman is the Akeres Habayis. She holds up the home.
Also, when it says by the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, that he
Yeah.
has the 3 different times that he did that.
Yeah,
So the first time,
I'll be so.
yeah, which it said it
You mean
means
why?
he confesses himself and his body, his home, and Chazal translated it him and his home.
Yeah, and now I want to tell you something, that and Beis Yaakov, it's the girls' school, like, Beis, that's right, we're the main thing of the house. Now, a long time I thought Yisrael was a higher Madrega, and Yaakov was a lower Madrega, that's what I thought. And it was like, I didn't like it, why are we, lower level than the men? But then I saw that the Rabbanit Rebbe, he says that it talks about 2 different jobs that the Jewish people have. Sometimes you have the job of being Israel. You being Israel, your Israel is Yashar Kel, together with Hashem. Then Sarita, you were, it's like, but and that's when a Jew is above the world.
More dominant?
When he's above the world, he's connected to Hashem, he's above the world. And sometimes we have the job of Yaakov, of being, what's the job of Yaakov? Of revealing the Yud, which is the first letter of Hashem's name, the Yud, the Atzmos Hashem, the essence of Hashem, revealing it in the Akev, revealing it in the heel. Yaakov, it's 2 jobs we have. Like on Shabbos, you're all, the men especially, but even the women are a bit above the world. They don't work, you don't work, you're above the world. And then on Motzei Shabbos, there's a song, Al Tira Yaakov. You're going back to being Yaakov. Not just the women, the men too. It's like, but all right, this is and it was very interesting. I saw that it says, Yaakov's name was changed to Israel. Was he called still Yaakov? Was he still called Yaakov? Yeah. And it says, Vayechi Yaakov. That's in the Parshat Vayechi. He's 137 years old. And it says, Vayechi Yaakov. Why is he called Yaakov if he didn't reach the? And then it was very strange because the next pasuk says, Vayikrevu Yemei Yisrael Lamut. It's like 2 psukim. He lived 137 years in Mitzrayim, and here he was Yisrael. So it says, when Yaakov was in Mitzrayim, then he had the job of Yaakov to reveal HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the lowest form of the world. We said Yaakov is like to reveal Yud Akev, Hashem in the heel, in the lowest in Mitzrayim. But the next pasuk it says that he's going to leave the world. We're tied him to die. Then it's going to be Israel, and he's leaving the avoda of Yaakov behind. So we have the avoda of Yaakov, and everyone has it, men and women. Men are all, Yaakov is a man's name, and men also have the avoda of Yaakov. But between the 2 of us, men and women, then women have more the avoda of Yaakov than men. Because like on Shabbos morning, the guys are in shul, and the women are feeding the kids or whatever, so you have that a work of revealing. Oh, and I'll tell you afterwards, all of Am Yisrael, we are all the wife of Hashem. We are all the women compared to Hashem. The avoda of Yaakov it's about the Yisrael. You know, we say that the relationship of Hashem and Am Yisrael is compared to the relationship of a man and a woman. And so whenever, you know, I meet a man who makes fun of a woman, I think, well, everything that you say about women applies to you too. Because you're the woman, we're all the wives of Hashem. Yeah, and men and women. Yeah. Okay. But there is still is, but that's why he spoke to the woman first and says, and then it says, "B'taki b'nei Israel," and now b'taki, it's a very strange thing. It can mean two different things. B'taki can be you should tell the men, or what else can it mean? And the Maharsha says it. She will tell. You know that the word Tagi can be you should tell, and she will tell. She will tell. It's very funny that when you learn Hebrew, it's like confusing. Tomar could be you should tell, and it could be she should tell. You know, like, so it says, the Maharsha said, you tell the women, and she will tell the next generation. And we see the woman has a big influence on the house. There was I saw Lori Palachnik, who, so once she said, she has a group of women who comes to Eretz Yisrael. She said, why does she have women? She says, the women, they make the decision where the children will go to school, where, you know, it depends on the women. Depends on women. We see that character by women make a biggest difference. And you know, and you see that the power of women. Now it's very strange. Why? You know, and why? Because we know that the relationship of a man and a woman, a man is a mashpia, a man is the one who influences, and a woman is receptive, Macabbi. So how can we say that the woman is the influencer if men are mashpia and women are Macabbi? Why is the house dependent on them? Because it's all right. A man and another difference between men and women. Men have the union of chesed. That's their, the concept of chesed. They want to give. I once asked my husband, why is it? He says, what a man is, that's what he wants. That's, in other words, if it's in a good mood, he'll, you know, but if it's a bad mood, he just is. What he is, he wants to expand. That's his pashtus. His nature. A woman is like Gevura, because is it appropriate? Will the children receive it? You know, a woman is more receptive to the world around her. You know, like, and it says, I mean, this is even in secular magazines. They said women are more able to work in companies that they don't give you so much money. They want to help people. That's more feminine trait. They want, you know, not, you know, I'm going to succeed. You know, and men and women. Men is like, that's how I am, and the women is, well, the people around here, maybe we shouldn't yell right now, or, you know, women are more in general, I mean, but in general sensitive to the effect that the word has around them. And that's why man is a mashpia. This is what I am. This is what comes out of me. Woman is Macabbi. She's always sensitive to the atmosphere. Because
excuse me, there was a thing in the Gemara that said that there was a righteous woman who married an evil man, and an evil woman married a righteous husband, right? And in the end, the righteous husband became evil, and the evil husband became righteous. Whatever the wife was, that's what he became.
yeah, and Now, that was something that really blew my mind, and I thought, how did, because if I would tell my husband, do this, it wouldn't work. So, he didn't want to get married to get instructions, So what does that mean? So I thought about that. What does it mean? I thought so I started with the wicked woman. The wicked, because I thought, how did the wicked woman make her husband evil? He married her in order to change her. How did she change him? So what? It wasn't like you're gonna keep Shabbat, you're gonna break. I thought, how would I be the wicked woman? And then I was able to think of. I thought, oh, because I thought, oh, if you had a righteous woman, probably she said, oh, you're so righteous. It's so beautiful. And she must have worked at the edges without him noticing until she turned him around. Because if in a fight, if he would say you're going to break Shabbos, he would say over my dead body, and then and he's more powerful, than a woman. But it must be that she let him think that she respected him, and then she worked at the edges. And then we understand that the woman also, the righteous woman, how did she make her husband a tzaddik? Not by giving him orders, but by seeing the tzaddik in him. That she saw the tzaddik in him, she complimented him, and that's, and that's why she became a tzaddik. All right, this is there was
You see that with Rachel and Akiva. She saw
That-
the
that's
potential.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You see the tzaddik in him. And that's Rabbi Manis Friedman says, you want your husband, you should treat your husband as if he's already the ideal husband that you wanted all your life. And then he makes him get closer to the ideal. That's
Having a good man, no.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but imagination is helpful.
Yeah, and they say, that's what you see, that will grow. If you keep seeing the chesroinus will grow. And if you keep seeing the milas, if you see the disadvantages, they become stronger. And if you see the advantages, then they will become stronger. Now, it's easy for me to say, next Sunday will be my husband's 25th yard site. So, but I learned this. It was hard work, and I learned it from, but Hashem took him away before I finished the work. Yeah. Okay. So that and that was a very good thing, and emphasize it's because we're receptive. And I said it shows us that you influence people more by using influence than by using authority.
Yes.
And just last night, a woman called me. She works in an organization, and she says she has to, be so smart, because if, she said she needs authority more, because she has to, she has to use her, feminine wiles to make her opinion follow. And I said, that's the way it works. If you have authority, you'll allow the pushback, the way you have more influence when you're sensitive and you know that you'll do it in this way will make sense to the girl and not in that way. So you'll set her, you put her back up. And this is for men too, that you have more capable, if you use the influence, then use authority. And that's, yeah. All right, now I'm gonna, and that's one thing. But there's also, let's see what it is. Yeah. Oh, you don't have the. I'm looking for the, because I have could be I didn't, it says, okay, maybe it's in that next one. I don't think it's in the next one either. So you're gonna have to listen, because this I don't know unless you, it says Kotomar, it's like a Urachayim, and in my Chumash, it's like, I thought it was on Pasuk Beis, but it's about the same question. Why does it say Beis Tomar leBeit Yaakov Tagid Livnei Israel? So it's in the Orachayim, and it says, why is it repeated? All right, Lama Kefa, why is it repeated? Tomar v'Tagid. And Chazal say that Beis Yaakov are the women, and to them he will talk softly. And the Bnei Israel, we should talk hard words like Gidim, which I always thought were sinews. I don't know why it said wormwood, but it was like Tagid is a hard word. The kasher, and this is difficult. Hello, lo matzinu Hashem Shamar Hashem bidvarav beis minei shlichut. We don't find that Hashem tells them two types of shlichut. It's one language to all of them. Anoshim, v'noshim. I mean, Hashem said, Kotomar, this is what you should say. These are the words. And at the end he says, Elu hadvarim asher tzedaber. These are the words. So how is it both soft words to the woman and hard words to the man? Imein kashim, if it's hard, yachash meishmu, they hear them together. And if they're soft, they will hear them together. But and it can't be that Moshe would change it, because it says this is what you should say to Israel. And the Chazal say not more and not less. When Hashem gave her his proposal, he told Israel, this is what you should tell me. Didn't want him to add words like then you could say he, convince them. He wanted these words, and that's all. So, okay. And so then he says, that he says, I want to bring first a concept which is from the Torah, that we know that Hashem is good. And more than his desire, greater than our desire to receive is his desire to give, right? And because of his great kindness, he wants to give us the best thing. And the best thing we have if we do Hashem's Torah out of love and not out of fear. Now in the later on it says that out of fear you get out of fear, it says la'elafdar, says those that will fear Hashem, then the things they do will influence 1,000 generations, which is a long time. I mean, even today, a generation is considered 25 years, so it would be 25,000 years. So, but it says that people will serve Hashem out of love, alpine, 2,000 generations. It's like, so it's, yeah. So Hashem wants, it says, the ones that serve Hashem out of fear have 1/2 of those who serve Hashem out of love. And Hashem wants us to serve Hashem out of love. And 1 second. Okay, so then why not just love? So there's a Mamre Chazal that says, serve Hashem out of love, out of fear. I don't remember which is first, but serve Hashem out of fear, because the one who's afraid does not rebel, does not kick. But serve Hashem out of love, because the one who loves doesn't hate. If we would have only fear, and then we would do what Hashem wanted, but but not without love, it can lead to resentment. That's a nicer way of saying hate. but it leads to resentment. And but if Hashem, but Hashem says, but I give you, and you serve Hashem out of fear, because now you can say if you love Hashem, but you think, and there's a woman I learned with, she says when she was younger, she served Hashem out of love. I mean, but whatever she wanted to do, she said, Hashem understands me, I'll understand. That it was just love and not fear. And so you need to have love and fear.
Why don't we say respect? Like, I never understood why in Buddhism.
Okay.
I think reverence.
All right, but I will say, we have all kinds of levels of fear. There's a lower fear and the higher fear. There is a lower fear of lower fear isn't really fear of Hashem. It's love of yourself. Love of yourself, and Hashem has the power. You want to behave because you're afraid of what will happen to you. So that's a lower fear. It's like love of yourself, and we have that also. We have that also. That you want things to be good, and that's a lower fear. Higher fear is that you just, it's not fear. It's reverence. It's awe. That's here it's yeah.
I feel like in focus doing out of love, it means you actually resonating with your soul and you're in tune with Hashem and not focus with Hashem. I feel if you do it out of fear, you are in awe, but you're not really connecting out of in a loving way, and you have respect, but you're not in that zone.
Yeah. And that's why we have to have, but there are people in Torah that they had only love and no fear. One of them was just last week's Parsha, Nadav and Avihu. They wanted so much to get close to Hashem. They wanted to get close to Hashem that that they didn't want, that they brought something which Hashem didn't command, because they wanted to get close to Hashem. And even they say that a person wants to get close to Hashem, who loves Hashem, he doesn't want to come back to this world. I mean, I'm not in that level, but there were people who, when they're close to Hashem, they don't want to come back. Why? What makes them come back? Fear, reverence. They don't want to, but okay, that when I
So they come up screaming and kicking.
Okay, like a baby is born, like like when you're born, you're like, you don't want to come down to this world, and you're doing it out of reverence to Hashem. But your love would be the opposite. And there's also an explanation that's why Adam and Chava ate from the tree of knowledge, because it says Adam and Chava, they had only one desire. When they created, they had one desire. And it was the desire to reveal the glory of Hashem. Because the pasuk says that you're in everything in the world is created to reveal the glory of Hashem. And that's what they wanted, to reveal the glory of Hashem. And Hashem said, don't eat from the tree of knowledge. And the snake said, But if you don't know what bad is, you're not revealing the glory of Hashem. If you would know what bad is and then serve Hashem, then you would reveal the glory of Hashem. And if they wanted to do that. There's one explanation that they wanted to do it so much out of their love of Hashem that they weren't able to say, Hashem says no. Like that would be fear, that. So you need to have the fear that would listen to it. And our love, is limited. And you know that you need fear, because if you do things out of love, okay, then you would take, I would take advantage. I do take advantage, but yeah, I mean, a woman, even in marriage, you can talk about love of your husband, and it should be the main thing, but you don't have any fear at all, then little by little, it ends up affecting the relationship, that, sometimes you want to cook, but sometimes you don't want to cook. You cook because out of reverence or out of, respect, or knowing that he would be upset if you wouldn't cook. It should, and it says, the Arachim says the fear shouldn't be the main factor in the relationship. It should be a spice in the relationship. There should be a little bit of fear that is like a spice that will give the love a chance to last. But if you have love without fear, then you don't have that spice which will make the relationship last.
I really, like, really talks about that. And if your relationship is kind of like porn, then you need a good fight.
Okay.
And I think it does very much. You don't need to be able to serve love. And just want to serve and you just want to love.
Yeah. But we that could be, but we have, our feelings are limited. Only Hashem has unlimited love and unlimited fear. Only Hashem does. When it says you should love, like a woman loves her kids, but sometimes she loves her kids, but sometimes a child wants her, and she doesn't have the total love. She loves herself too, and it what?
Which is the way it should
Yeah,
be.
all right, but so yeah, but then she does things out of knowing that if she won't do it, it will, she does things out of. I mean, all right, it is a love, but what she feels is this will affect the child badly, so it's like but it's like a fear that, yeah. But I do think, one thing I think, that fear is not a good, not a good to when it rules your children. When when you're afraid of, when your child does something, and then the mother is, what's going to be when he's going to grow up, and out of fear. I can testify from my own experience that when I'm afraid, then it leads me to do stupid things. You shouldn't be so scared. You should always remember him. Because when a kid is talking, and he's already now listening to me. What's going to be when he's a teenager? Then you get angry, and you shouldn't be afraid. So I think that the fear shouldn't. It's got to be a very tiny spice, not a Okay. I don't know if it's here. I don't know. It could be here, or it could be when he about like when on the word Elifdar Alpandar, like that could be it's there. I don't know if it's here. I don't remember exactly. I don't But anyway, that, okay. I mean, it's very long, but this is what he talks about, that, so that here, the words that Hashem says will inspire, so Beth Yaakov are the people who serve Hashem out of fear. Then Kol Tomar Beth Yaakov. You should pick them. If somebody is afraid, you have to emphasize that he should love Hashem. Kol Tomar the Beth Yaakov. You emphasize the love and not the fear. But if the people who Bnei Israel, I love Hashem very much, we emphasize a little bit of fear, a little bit of fear, a little bit of humility, a little bit of humility. The humility comes with fear, not with love. Yeah, you think, you know, a little bit of humility. And in his words, he says, when you, and then what he said, you should see what I did to Mitzrayim. So knowing that he, you know, he emphasized what it did to Mitzrayim, that would, you know, it would show them, it would arouse the fear if they don't have it. Oh, you don't do what Hashem wants, it'll be bad. Okay, and then it says, okay, and it says, there's not much time and I want to go ahead, but so it says the next pasuk, okay, and now
Next section.
Yeah.
Anybody has the number 2? Some people got number 2. You're welcome to speak this if you so desire.
Okay.
Is that all? We had like 20. You get one.
There's one more. There's one more.
Anybody need?
Anybody else leave?
There's another one here also.
Lady in the back.
What I did.
So that were the words that have.
Everybody have a get your sword.
Okay, we'll bring us $1. So he said, this is what you should say, and then the words of Hashem's proposal to us. This is Hashem's proposal. So here he starts with the fear, like it's like fear and love, because it's a lot of love, but it's still fear, as it says. What does it say? Who wants to read Pasuk 4? Okay. Yeah. Yes, right in the beginning.
You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to me.
Okay. Now, you saw what I did in Mitzrayim, so yeah, that could also see that you know that it's not good to disobey Hashem, because when Hashem gets, you know. Yeah. There are,
It's a hard list.
yeah,
Can't win.
yeah, but.
I'm angry at you.
No, but and I will carry you on wings of people, on wings of eagles. And it says that when Bnei Israel left Egypt, they didn't deserve to leave Egypt. I mean, they were, you know, they had fallen into 49, you know, levels of the pyramid. So how did they leave Egypt? They were lifted on the, you know, Hashem lifted them. Hashem lifted them. But then, and that's what we said, they have to cleanse themselves for 7 weeks till they got the Torah. But and I think the same thing with a baby. You know, a baby, when he's born, he's a boy, you're carrying him. He's in a high level, you know, he sees things from, you know, when you're carrying him, but then till he will reach that level, will take 20 years. You know, when you put him down, he's, you know, so you're carrying him at first, but then he has to grow into his, to grow to this height. So at first, Hashem took us on the wings of eagle, and the wings of eagle, I don't know, it's my face, yeah, I told you. It took the wings of eagles, but then I will bring you to me. And it says, it says that there are 3 levels of our relationship with Hashem. Hashem, it's like the feeling that I will bring you on wings of eagles. You're little, you're like a baby, and I'm lifting you. And then Avi Etzchem Elai, I will bring you to be a partner to me. You will become a partner to me. And it says, Avi Etzchem Elai, and I bring you to me. But the word Avi is not written in the way it's usually written. Because Avi, I will bring you, should have Aleph, Beis, Yud, Aleph. It needs an extra Yud. And it doesn't have the Yud because it's Ovo Etzchem, Bia. And it's like, I will make you, and it's used, the term it's used for is the relationship between a man and a wife. And via Samelai, you'll be like my partner, you'll be like my wife, that's the second. And then, Avi, it needs a Yod, even in the language of the Torah, which it needs a Yod. Like and now everything has a Yod. Everything that's he has a Yod. It's like, but this word should have a Yod even from the Torah's translation. And then I'm going to six. I'm going to skip there, and I'm going to read the beginning. Right, we should read. He says, all right, and then if you will listen to my voice, and you all right. This is also. It says if you will listen to my voice, but it says it twice. Shamoa tishmo. If you will listen to my voice. Then number 5. You will listen to my voice. So it says this also for Arachayim. If you listen, you have to listen to listen a bit. The Arachayim has a lot of explanations. If you listen, if you will listen to tzaddikim, then you will. In other words, if you listen at first, you will listen later. You know that's one of the explanations. All right, and this I'll say afterwards that when they got the Torah, there was they heard the shofar, and the shofar was halech v'chadek. It was getting stronger and stronger. Why? You know, a person. Okay, first of all, it's a person gets strong and then it goes weaker. Hashem got stronger, but why didn't he make it as strong as possible in the beginning, or as strong as impossible in the beginning? Why did he make it grow gradually? Because we hear Torah. When you hear Torah, you hear one, you know, everyone hears according to his ability to receive. First of all, he hears Torah, says a little thing, and another little thing, and another little thing. You don't accept the whole Torah at once. You accept it little, and then you hear more and more and more. Okay. But then it says, and I said number 6. What's number 6? Who wants to read the pasuk?
I could.
Yeah.
ואתם תהיו לי ממלכת כהנים וגוי קדוש, אלו הדבר אשר תדבר על בני ישראל.
Yeah.
So, and you will be to me a kingdom, I don't know, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you should speak to Bnei Israel.
Now the words, and you should be for me a kingdom. It's a thing. We said that first Hashem is like a father and we're like a son. Then he makes us partners. Then it says, you shall be to me a kingdom. That we are kings of Hashem. Now, of course, Hashem is the king, but he has made himself vulnerable to our deeds. You know, like it says, Hashem tzilcha, Hashem is our shadow. Like he's waiting for us. I mean, he's the boss, but he is waiting for us. Attempt to use the mamlechet, and the Kliyakar says that Hashem relates to us as the father. He relates to us as partners, and see, it even relates to us sometimes as he waits to what we do. Okay, and I said that's okay, and I'm sorry, and that's what they say. Tzaddik goes there, but tzaddik goes there, but Kodesh Baruch Hu Mekayim. A tzaddik decrees and Hashem does it. That, you know, that's the level of you should be a king. Okay. Now, pasuk 7. We'll go through it really quickly. What does pasuk 7 say? Who wants to read it?
ויבוא משה וישראל בפני העם וישם לפניהם את כל הדברים האלה אשר ציוו השם. And Moses came and summoned the elders of the people and put them all that Hashem had commanded.
Yeah. And it says that Moshe, why did he call the elders of people? Hashem told him to speak to all the people. So he called them all together, but he spoke to elders of the people because he thought they would, if we take to them, they would probably accept the proposal. So it says he was a little bit afraid. So he said, I'll speak to the elders and then the people will follow the elders. But then the pasuk said, so that was why he spoke to the elders, because he thought they're able to understand the greatness of the proposal. But then we have the pasuk says that on the last page.
ויהיו כל העם יחדיו וכל אשר דיבר השם נעשה. ושם משה את דברי העם נעשה. All those assembled answered as one faith.
And this is really beautiful. They answered all as one, together. It says, they weren't looking, what's he saying, what's he saying. They answered together the cry from all of Israel, what, we're gonna do it. They weren't, even though Moshe had been afraid and he spoke to the elders, they didn't wait for the elders. They all answered, we will do it, we will do it. You know, that's by Nukala Am Yachdav, they answered together, and it was, you know, and nobody was looking at anybody else trying to see if he's, that's what they say, Nukala Am Yachdav, they answered together the same moment, a call from their kishkis, from their shama. They weren't waiting. What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? And that they wanted, you know, it was genuine. It was real. They knew, and they said, whatever Hashem tells us to do, we will do it. And then it says Moshe returned his words to Hashem. He returned the words of the people to Hashem. Now, what do you mean? Hashem surely knows. But first of all, if he got a shluchas, he doesn't. He was told. But then also, I think the Kedushas Rabbi Yitzchak Berditchev, and he told, here he gave a parish which is so suitable for him. he says Moshe went back to Hashem. He said, look at what your people said. They all started crying at once. He was so proud of them. He was like, wow, look at the words of Hashem. And that was why I say that very suitable for what he said. Because Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Mebroditchev, he always was one who saw the good in Am Yisrael. I mean, there's a famous story that he went and he saw a Jew who was smoking a cigarette on Shabbos. He said, oh, he saw, so he said, on Yom Kippur, I think. Yeah, Yom Kippur. So he said, oh, you probably don't know your law. He said, no, I know a lot. Oh, you probably don't know it's Kippur. I know it's Yom Kippur. And and he tried to find the foot, and then he said, oh, Hashem, look how honest your people are.
Oh, precious, they don't lie.
There was one man, I once heard a woman, she was like, was telling, it was about raising children. And she said, you have to see something good in your child. So the woman was complaining about the child. So, he's bad and he's this and that. The woman's complaining. And the woman, and she asked a lot of things and it didn't help. The back says, well, he's consistent. You have to see something good in the child. Okay, I think that's it. No,
You can take a few extra minutes.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
These are yours to take. If anybody wants to take them.
Thank you. I'm very glad that I teach it. I can inspire myself. What?
Hey, Ziva.
Hi, I'm in the gallery working.